All clear. Tonight on our news, evacuation orders for the southern islands are lifted. After hours of airlift operations and initial damage assessments, the Prime Minister says the worst is over. This as in Salvador, taking a big step toward recovery as flights resume, even with no power and patchy communications. Our Jerome Sawyer on the ground. Plus, the race for Golden Isles officially on. 5 hopefuls turned up to nominate, but only 4 made the cut. Find out who voters will soon get to decide to represent them next. Then in our news at 7:30, after days away from home, residents evacuated from the south finally heading back. Not everyone happy, though, about how the process unfolded. Our news live at 7 starts right now. Welcome to our news live at 7. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Candino Knowles. Tonight, the all clear from the Prime Minister, Philip Davis, announcing evacuation orders for the southern Bahamas have been lifted as the threat from Hurricane Melissa has passed. In the 26 hours leading up to the storm, government chartered multiple flights to get residents out of Acklins, Mayaguana, Crooked Island, and Inagua, many of whom had never been evacuated before. Following initial assessments of the damage, the Prime Minister released a video this morning saying he's satisfied that conditions have improved and that the danger to those communities has subsided. But he also reassured residents relief teams are on the ground and help is on the way.
Whereas Hurricane Melissa no longer poses a threat to the life and safety of residents and persons in the Southeast Bahamas, and whereas upon the advice of the Disaster Risk Management Authority, I am satisfied that the threat to life and safety caused by Hurricane Melissa has subsided, and it is safe for residents and persons within the areas affected, namely Acklins, Crooked Island and Long Key, Inagua, Mayaguana, Ragged Island Chain, to return to their communities.
And since Salvador's airport reopening today, even as the island remained without power and spotty communications, Jerome Sawyer visiting with a reconnaissance team sent to test the readiness of the airstrip ahead of scheduled flights today. Here's what he found.
Our Defense Force piloted aircraft with civil aviation on board touched down in San Salvador Friday morning to a dry runway. A compromised perimeter fence and some stagnant water provided only some evidence of what passed through. A stress test of the runway showed it worthy to accept a scheduled domestic flight and inbound Paris charter later in the day. The terminal roof lost a few shingles, but otherwise remained intact. By midday, civil aviation declared this international airport open. Further inland, this video shows some of the damage around the island and described here by resident Peterson Store.
The winds were very strong. We lost a lot of poles, little erosion, seaside, couple homes, roofs, but most of all it was the power.
And power remained off up to Friday morning. Videos obtained by Our News show damage at various points during and after the storm. The images giving a glimpse into what happened as Hurricane Melissa slid by. Administrator Francis Hepburn Barr confirming the affected utilities and damaged schools.
We would have sustained damage at BPL. About 19 poles are down. Most of their high voltage lines are down. About 2 low voltage lines are down. Presently, there is no BTC service to the extreme of the island because we would sustain damages at our primary school, major damage at the primary school, but from the outside looking in, the high school is not so much.
Neighboring Rum Key reporting only minimal damage as well. Aviation officials confirming a safe runway on the flyover, headed to another airport of interest for them. Reporting for Our News, I'm Jerome Sawyer.
And Jerome also on the ground in Long Island today. For that, be sure and stay tuned to Our News at 7:30. Meanwhile, Airport Authority confirms most airports in South and Central Bahamas are open after weather officials gave the all-clear Thursday morning. Airports in Mayaguana, Crooked Island, Acklins, Inagua, San Salvador, Cat Island, and Exuma resumed operations by midday. By Friday, authorities announced that Stella Maris Airport on Long Island reopened at 8 a.m., followed by Rum Key at 11 a.m. Deadman's Key, however, as you heard there from Jerome, or that you'll hear from him coming up in 7:30, remains closed as water remediation continues. Now, the airport authority says updates will continue as repairs progress and as thanking travelers for their patience. This as teams work to restore full service across the Family Islands. And post-storm assessments following Hurricane Melissa expected to continue through the weekend. The government officials wasted no time launching their first inspection trips Thursday, touching down in Acklins, Long Island, and Cat Island. Sasha Lightbourne was on that trip and files this report.
Deputy Prime Minister Chester Cooper led a government team that included officials from the Disaster Risk Management Authority traveling south Thursday afternoon to assess the damage left behind by Hurricane Melissa. The storm, which pummeled Jamaica, Hispaniola, and Cuba earlier this week, swept through the southern Bahamas on Wednesday, leaving communities like Acklins cleaning up in its wake. Residents Diane Bazard and Anita Colley-Verdecia shared what it was like riding out the storm.
Everybody leave the island and leave us here. But I tell them when they come back, they'll meet us here.
I wanted to protect my business and to ensure that the product that I manage was safe. So that's being one of the reasons why. And I also knew that we were in basically a safe place.
Acklins Family Island Administrator Herman Gilbert also gave his initial damage report.
The largest damage is the road in Salina, entering into Salina, but that has always caused a challenge, and I think a solution for that would be putting a seawall to that coastal area.
The team then moved on to Long Island, an area not expected to take a direct hit, but when Melissa shifted, she brought torrential rain that caused severe flooding in low-lying communities. Island Administrator Jandalee Archer and Officer in Charge, Superintendent Kendrick Brown, both spoke to the recovery efforts.
There's a few flooding and structural damages to home in the south, but the tail end was worse than the beginning. And that frightened all of us. It took us all by surprise.
Yes, we got a call for about a family of four, where we went in the area. Officers went in the area immediately after the call, and we quickly rescued 4 males, and they were taken into the Clarendon Community Center where the hurricane shelters were taken.
Now, our final stop with the Prime Minister, Cabinet Ministers, and DRM officials was Cat Island. We flew into the New Bight International Airport. It was there that DPM Cooper shared this.
Overall, we've done fairly well. I'm grateful to God for sparing us significant damage. We have been spared. We are grateful, and we are welcoming guests to our country.
All right, our Sasha Lightbourne reporting for us tonight. And residents in Golden Isles one step closer to electing their next representative. This comes after PLP Member of Parliament Vaughn Miller suddenly died earlier this month. Some 5 Bahamians showed up this morning at Anatole Rogers High School to officially nominate, but as our Megan Shepherd tells us, only 4 names will be on the ballot come November 24th.
Flooding, potholes, illegal immigration, and more. Candidates vying to represent the Golden Isles constituency, they're ready to serve and take on the community's biggest challenges. The nomination center opened right at 9 a.m. and by 9:30, the first candidate arrived. Kim Butler, a former Free National Movement representative, now running independent.
Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. This time, we're going to be different, and we're going to get a different result. The Bahamas is at a place now where Bahamians recognize that they need representation that reflects where we are as a society in the 21st century.
And then it was time for the Battle of the Bryans. Arriving by procession with fanfare and amid some tension, Coalition of Independence candidate Brian Roll and his team getting into a brief exchange with officers at the gate. This as police tried to enforce the rule of only 20 supporters per candidate behind the gates. And then it was official. Roll added to the ballot list. Here's his plans if elected.
Inclusion, that's my word of the day, and always inclusion. We need you guys to be involved in what we're doing. Don't be shy to come forward with us. We need your We need your ideas. We cannot do this alone. All I know is it will be better. We're having a lot of issues. I am a resident of Golden Isles, and there are a lot of vexing issues that needs to be resolved.
Next, former Senator Darren Pitstock. His arrival via motorcade is sparking more commotion outside as COI supporters questioned whether the governing party was being held to the 20 supporters rule. Pitstock, surrounded by family and sitting parliamentarians, officially adding his name to the list of choices for constituents. While addressing concerns about his residency in the area, he shared how he intends to lead if he wins.
I am a man of action, and that is the kind of representation that I will give to the great constituency of Golden Isles and the constituents. Doesn't matter how long you live in an area, it's about representation, and I am prepared to represent the constituents of Golden Isles.
And then another crossover of candidates as the Free National Movement's Brian Brown arrived, accompanied by supporters and jumping music. This as the PLP carried out a small and brief rally outside the gates, complete with a stage and speeches. However, Brown confidently making his way inside to nominate. He too with a list of changes he'd like to spearhead within the area.
When you send me to Parliament, I'll fight every single day to make life easy for families in Golden Isles. I'll push for better infrastructure, safer roads, reliable drainage, proper street lighting. I'll champion small business as we create real jobs right here at home.
Now the process ended at noon, and just minutes before the cutoff, resident Craig Powell arrived in an attempt to nominate. Although he says it was a smooth process, he was still unsuccessful in his bid.
Actually, there was a clinch in my documents, the presentation of my documents, which is a bit of a depression for me after making such an effort. And then, I woke up this morning very intrepid whether I was doing the right thing or not, but I guess it's being decided for me.
And now, in just over 3 weeks, some 7,596 candidates will have the opportunity to head to the polls to mark their X for just one of these 4 candidates, a candidate they hope will address concerns within their community. Reporting for Our News, I'm Megan Shepard.
All right, thanks so much for that, Megan. Well, a man who stabbed his wife's suspected lover has been sentenced to 22 years in prison. Justice Gilomena Archer-Mins handed down the sentence to Joaquin Augustine, also known as Jay, after a jury found him guilty by a 6-2 majority. The court heard that in January 2022, Augustine attacked Dino Delancey, his roommate of 2 years, stabbing him in the shoulder and head over a false belief he was involved with his wife. Now, Justice Archer-Mins said the case shows that even actions taken in the heat of the moment have serious consequences. And another night, another vehicle riddled with bullet holes and shattered glass, this time on Cambridge Drive. Police say the fatal shooting happened just after 11 p.m., claiming the life of a man in his early 50s. Inspector Gerard Culmer says the victim was visiting someone at a home in the area when he was attacked.
A male was at a residence, visiting someone at a residence, when a burgundy Japanese vehicle pulled alongside him. And occupants of this vehicle discharged shots in his direction, striking the vehicle about the body. An anonymous caller contacted police control room and reported this incident. And after the shooting, the EMS and police responded, and the EMS pronounced the male deceased on scene. We're appealing to members of the public that if you have any information that could help this case, we would ask that you reach out to police at 911-919 or at CID at 502-9991. We are appealing to members of the public the conflict resolution. We want to ask that members of the public just be mindful.
All right, we have got much more to get to tonight, but for now, it's time for your first look at temperatures. Meteorologist Greg Thompson, he's standing by in the Weather Center. Happy Friday, Greg.
Yeah, thanks, Kenyon, and happy Friday evening, everybody. Beautiful conditions on the outside. We do have some dry air mass in place, courtesy of a front that moved through. 78 degrees is our current temperature with a few clouds. Your winds out of the north-northwest at 7 miles per hour. Feels like temperature, feeling like a comfortable 78-9 degrees. Current temperatures around the family violence. It's 70, cool 70 in Freeport, Grand Bahama, 72 in Allenstown, Bimini. We pick up 74, Marshall, Barbacoa. Great Harbour Keith, Berry Island, 75 there, 77. Nicholstown, Andros, here in the capital, 78. Governor's Harbour, you guys are 79, and hello to the McKinneys over there in Wimpspite. 80 degrees in Kemps Bay, 81 in Black Point, Exuma, 78 Georgetown, Exuma, as well as in Port Nelson, that's in Rumkeith, 76 Arthurstown, Cat Island, Coburn Townsend, Salvador, 77. Deadman's Key, Long Island, you guys down there, 79, and into the Southeast Bahamas, 81 in Duncantown, Ragged Island, 79s in Colonel Hill, Crooked Island, Delectable Bay, and you have some showers nearby, 78 in Abrams Bay, Meguana, 80 in Matthewtown, Inagua, good neighbors to Southeast Turks and Caicos Islands. You have a temperature right now of 81 degrees. Taking a look at our satellite and radar composite, that frontal boundary still hanging out across the Southeast Bahamas. That is keeping a couple of isolated showers in place across that area. High pressure behind that, dry air mass in place that will continue to dominate our weather over the next couple of days. So we're looking at some very nice conditions for the weekend. That's your first look at weather. Stick with us. A look at your extended forecast is still to come.
Coming up in sports, I now understand why Batman never wore headphones.
And I also got an exact replica of my skeleton.
I promise we're a very serious news entity. We'll prove it next.
Fill up box for only $30.
The new KFC Fill-Up Box, serving 6 juicy pieces of chicken, 4 buttery biscuits, crispy fries to share, and 12 premium original recipe KFC nuggets, all packed into one crave-worthy box. So dig in and do whatever the crunch you want with the KFC Fill-Up Box. Only at KFC, it's finger-licking good.
No need to daydream no more when you can walk into Automall Bahamas and drive off in your favorite vehicle today. Take the stress out of car ownership with our extended 5-year warranty. As the automobile trailblazers, we offer genuine parts and carry a large inventory at all times for your convenience. Maintenance is never a problem. Our team of factory-trained technicians are equipped and always ready. Don't forget to visit our pre-owned department and multiple showrooms. So what are you waiting on? Drive off worry-free with our 5-year warranty.
Registering for the advanced poll? Listen up. 2 deadlines are looming. Overseas voters must apply by Thursday, October 30th. Special voters have until Thursday, November 6th. Who qualifies? An overseas voter is a Bahamian eligible to vote from abroad, like students studying overseas and certain government personnel posted outside the Bahamas, along with qualifying spouses and immediate family. A special voter is someone who may be unable to vote in person on election day, including those 65 and older, hospitalized or in a care facility, pregnant, or who have recently given birth, traveling or stationed overseas on election day, candidates and their spouses, election workers, and parliamentary registration employees. For the full list of who qualifies and how to apply, click the link in the caption or pause the screen. Don't miss your deadline. Apply for the advanced poll today.
Welcome to Our Sports at 7, presented by 10th year seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. That's John Mark Nutt. Let's do show. It's never too early to take a deep dive into the madness. We're locked into the College Hoops preseason, so you will be too. We're so ready for next week. Donnie Freeman is back from injury and looks every bit as dominant as the Syracuse Orange expected. In their final exhibition game against Pace, Freeman scored 22 points and grabbed 9 boards. Dayton Albury made his second appearance for New Mexico last night and finished with 6 points and 4 rebounds against Northern Alabama.
VJ Edgecombe is becoming a star. The rest of the world is seeing it now, but his teammates on the senior men's national team always knew. Franco Miller Jr. and Edgecombe were teammates on the senior men's national team last summer at both the Acropolis tournament in Greece and the FIBA Olympic qualifying tournament in Valencia, Spain. Edgecombe emerged as one of the team's most dynamic scoring options, averaging over 16 points, 5 rebounds, and nearly 4 assists per game during the Olympic qualifier. Miller had his best moments at the Acropolis event, where he led the Bahamas with 20 points in a strong showing against Montenegro. Edgecombe is of course dominating the headlines as the rookie sensation for the Philadelphia 76ers, and Miller was recently drafted by the Santa Cruz Warriors in the NBA G League.
The 7th Caribbean Baseball Cup is about a month away, and the Bahamas Baseball Association is taking the first step towards getting a team ready for the field. The BBA will host open trials for the senior men's national team Saturday, November 1st from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. at the Andre Rogers National Stadium. And your 10YS Plays of the Week. That'll do it for Our Sports. Stay tuned to Our News at 7:30 for details on these stories and more.
When our news comes back from the break, we turn our spotlight to stories making headlines across the world as calm waters in Jamaica. The recovery work continues now 3 days after Hurricane Melissa. And Americans brace for the expiry of critical food benefits and assistance when our news returns.
From the field to the fresh market, you will find fresh, delicious, mouth-watering produce and meat. Discover organic, specialty, and healthy grocery products for everyday cooking. Your adventure awaits. Experience the fresh escape. Sign up today for My Solomon Smart Rewards at Solomon's Fresh Market.
Hey, you going with me to the store? No, that's straight. My boy got me. And then cool.
From 2017, one show has set the standard for current affairs in the Bahamas, and that's On the Record, one of the longest running current affairs shows on our TV. We've been the place where newsmakers come to talk. We've sat down with leaders in government, industry leaders, cultural icons, and international experts. From breaking news to in-depth analysis, our conversation sets the tone for the nation. We've tackled the biggest issues on the planet, held leaders accountable, and given voice to the people. From politics to culture, business to environment, no topic is off limits. Join us every Thursday at 8 p.m. and again on Sunday at 8 p.m. Catch us streaming live on Facebook or catch up with your favorite episode on our YouTube channel. 9 seasons strong, and we're just getting started. This is On the Record.
This is our news. Welcome back. We turn our attention now to stories making headlines across the world. Residents and tourists in Montego Bay, Jamaica woke up to calmer seas and clearer skies days after Category 5 Hurricane Melissa tore through the island. The storm left streets lined with debris and damaged buildings as crews began cleanup and power restoration. Officials confirmed at least 49 dead, making Melissa one of the strongest and deadliest hurricanes ever to strike the Caribbean. Drone footage shows roofs ripped away and communities in ruins, with more than 70% of Jamaica still without power. More than 40 million Americans could lose food assistance this weekend as the U.S. government shutdown drags into its 5th week. The stalemate in Congress has put the SNAP program on the brink of running out of funds. Democrats blame President Trump's administration for refusing to use emergency funds, while Republicans argue benefits will resume if Democrats reopen the government. Meantime, food banks across the U.S. are bracing for a surge in need as the shutdown becomes the second longest in U.S. history. And a historic scene recently unfolded inside the Sistine Chapel as King Charles III and Queen Camilla joined Pope Leo XIV for a joint prayer service, the first of its kind in 5 centuries. The royal couple met with the new pontiff in the Apostolic Palace before taking part in midday prayer led by Pope Leo and the Archbishop of York. The service, conducted in both Latin and English, focused on Christian unity and care for the environment. The service ended with King Charles and the Pope exiting side by side. Still to come in our news, today in history, find out interesting facts about the day that was October 31st. Then in our news at 7:30.
Ahead tonight on Our News, we're in South Central Long Island talking to residents in the aftermath of Hurricane Melissa. Also, we're going to show you what's happening at the Deadman's Key Airport. Flooded in many ways, the airstrip opened, but the terminal itself still very much underwater. That story coming up tonight on Our News.
It's all coming up when Our News returns.
If you want a real nice, tasty Bahamian dish, there's a place on the fish fry you can't resist. You can watch the sunset out on the beautiful deck. Eat a juicy conch salad made by the contact technician. When they ask me where
get when you're searching for the whole truth.
Less than 24 hours after the body of 12-year-old was discovered on a track road on Faith Avenue, police say you get the most comprehensive half hour of news.
Breach of the party's constitution. That's how the Kalani.
Behind me is what remains of the Victoria Court apartment complex.
Our News at 7 brings you that truth in all of the day's top stories, sports, and our view of the world. Join me, Kendino Knowles, weeknights for Our News at 7. Stay with the team you already trust. On this day in Bahamian history in 2014, the cruise ship Bahama Celebration struck an unknown object shortly after departing Freeport for Palm Beach, Florida. The ship was damaged and passengers had to be rescued by a Resorts World Bimini superfast vessel. And in 2020, legendary actor Sean Connery, best known for playing James Bond, died at his home in Lyford Key. The Scottish-born star was 90. His death attributed to pneumonia and heart complications. If you want to learn more about the events that shaped the day that was October 31st, head over to ournews.bs, and that's where you'll find all of today's top stories, and you can share your favorites right from the Our News Bahamas Facebook page. That's going to do it for us in News at 7, though. Joining us now, Berthany McDermott. He is up now with the latest headlines. Happy Friday, BJ.
Happy Friday, Kendino. A pilot accused of killing a romantic rival challenges a court decision to deny him bail. Here are your latest headlines.
First, tonight in Our News at 7:30, the all clear has been given an evacuation order lifted as government now moves to return evacuees home. Plus, as Long Islanders claim neglect ahead of Hurricane Melissa, the island member of parliament is in agreement saying Long Island should have been included on the evacuation list. And as Jamaica reels from the devastation of Hurricane Melissa, Deputy Prime Minister Chester Cooper says the Bahamas stands ready to assist. And then the JCNP steps down from the government-sponsored Junkanoo Parade and announces plans to hold its own Junkanoo experience. Our News at 7:30. We'll be back in a moment.
Kendino Knowles here, and thank you so much for watching. Be sure and hit that follow button if you want to see more stories like this. Be sure and follow all of the Our News social media pages. And hey, don't forget, turn on your notifications so you never miss out on top stories from the team you already trust.
Things may be tough, but Wendy's got you covered. Grab a Dave's single or chicken sandwich with a junior fries and 16-ounce beverage for just $6.95. Why choose less from the other guys when you can get more? At Wendy's, we're providing bigger bites and better deals. So purchase your Tings Tough Value Meal today. Now available at all locations excluding the airport and food truck.
Are you or a loved one under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies? Ports International is the largest home healthcare supplier. Medical supplies at the very best price, and you can even shop online. From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs to walkers, Ports is a one-stop shop for your medical supplies, and we accept insurance. We have online shopping and 2 locations to serve you, at the Airport Industrial Park and Shirley Street. We also ship to the Family Islands. Shop online and visit us on Facebook. Call Ports at 377-1771.
Whether you're battling a chronic condition or offsetting a new injury, Doctors Hospital's comprehensive rehab services offer the help you need now.
Go to doctors.
3 advanced facilities at Collins Avenue, Carmichael Road, and Cable Beach means your personalized plan for care is just a visit away. From physiotherapy to occupational therapy and speech and language pathology, our team approach is all about rebuilding together. For a full list of services, visit doctorshosp.com/rehabilitation. Doctors Hospital, trusted and best care now. Isn't your health worth it?
Welcome to Our News, and thanks for joining us. I'm Berthany McDermott in for Italia Hall. Days after they were evacuated from several islands in the southern Bahamas, those evacuees began returning home today. It comes as the all-clear was issued this morning by Prime Minister Philip Davis. Our Danielle Miller visited the Kendall Jill Isaacs Gym where she spoke to residents from several islands. And as she tells us in this report, there were some challenges with evacuees expressing concerns over a chaotic process. But disaster risk management officials say they're being addressed.
Evacuees from the Southern Islands gathered at the Kendall Geologics Gym today to be transported to the airport for return flights home. They are excited to get back to their islands, so they told me. However, the process came with its challenges.
I think the time was 10 o'clock. We came here a little earlier. I think it's like 8:30, 9 o'clock. We arrived here at the gym. We had to sign up again for the 10th time. We had to sign back up and wait.
That's Chesney Hanna, an evacuee from Inagua and one of more than 1,400 Bahamians who were evacuated from the Southern Islands earlier this week due to Hurricane Melissa. He says he got a text from the Disaster Risk Management Authority this morning advising that return flights begin today. Hanna says they were told to meet at the gym for 10 a.m., but claims more than 2 hours later they had not received confirmed flight times. I spoke to a frustrated Hanna around midday. He insists lack of communication made for a frustrating situation. To make matters worse, the Inagua native says they weren't even given water to drink. Chairman of the Disaster Risk Management Authority, Alex Storr, was also at the gym today.
We have flights we have already had flights leaving for Ragged Island. Those are at the airport. We're loading buses right now for Auckland and San Salvador. And then we hope to have Maguana, Crooked Island, and Inagua on the schedule.
Although some expressed frustration, evacuees like Dennis Burnside said he and his family are grateful for the measures taken by the government.
Well, I'm excited to get back home knowing that nothing happened. You know what I mean? I'm excited to get back home, to get back to work.
What about your son?
Oh, he excited in a little bit, but he hate, he have to leave the city. He can't go no Wendy's and McDonald's and stuff.
This afternoon, State Minister in the Office of the Prime Minister with responsibility for the DRM, Leon Lundy, confirmed that those return flights began today. Reporting for our news, I'm Danielle Miller.
Thanks, Danielle. And we are learning that those return flights were temporarily paused late this evening due to an unrelated air incident at the Exuma International Airport. Officials tell us that airport was being used as a hub for the Southern Islands. For more on this, be sure to stay locked to all of our social media platforms and tune into our News Weekend with Megan Shepard. Meanwhile, recovery in Southern Islands continued today. As you just heard, many family islanders moved quickly to return to a sense of normalcy. In Long Island, where our Jerome Sawyer touched down today, despite a flooded airport and some damage, there was relief in some ways. A far cry from Hurricane Joaquin almost exactly 10 years ago.
Even as the civil aviation team set out from Nassau to assess the airport in Deadman's Key, we were told a flyover was the best we could hope for. The runway was still underwater. But while stress testing in San Salvador, good news, the water had cleared enough for us to attempt a landing. It was about 10:40 Friday morning when the first flight post-Hurricane Melissa, a Defense Force piloted plane, touched down in Deadman's Key.
We were able to land on the airstrip itself. The concern, even as we were on the way here, was whether this was clear enough for us to land. Obviously, we've been able to get on the ground. But herein now lies the problem. Behind me, still severe flooding at the terminal here in Deadman's Key. Several feet of water. You're unable to get really from the tarmac to the airport. Right over here, I want to point you in this direction. Officials here at the airport are trying to do some flood mitigation to at least clear the water. There is an access road over here that vehicles are able to go, but we do not know at this point whether it will be enough for any commercial landing. So, of course, Deadman's Key has been one of those airports that has been closed since Melissa. The airport in Stella Maris is open. At some point, we should be able to check that out. But for now, this is the state of the airport in Deadman's Key.
We then hopped on the back of a police truck and pushed through the stagnant flood waters. It was evident this flooded airport terminal will be closed for a while. A short ride brought us to a busy portion of Cartwright Settlement in South Central Long Island, where customers were busy in Knoll Supply. That's where we met Philip Adderley.
Plenty water and plenty shingles get removed.
Yasmin Knowles was busy serving the stream of customers, happy to be able to pick up supplies on Friday. She recounts how they walked into the ankle-deep water in this very same spot as the eye of Melissa was passing over.
And the water was just pouring down off of that hill, just inches and inches of rainwater. And so we had to go back in the eye of the storm to fill up crawfish bags with quarry to come and put to the doors and try and block everything with plywood.
Noel says the community joined in with the family to clean up, and with generator power, they opened for business. From this video she shared with us, you can see the amount of water and cleanup needed to get them reopened. Videos from other settlements show the ferocity and strength of Melissa as it passed over Long Island. But for many residents like Kevin Pratt, it was nowhere near the dangerous conditions that came in 2015 with Hurricane Joaquin.
It wasn't a bad experience. I've been in Joaquin, so this was much better. There's a bunch of trees falling, no major damages.
And while these residents move quickly to try and return to normalcy, a critical component, the Deadman's Key Airport, will remain closed while they wait for the flood waters to subside. In Long Island, reporting for Our News, I'm Jerome Sawyer.
Thanks, Jerome. Meanwhile, Area Member of Parliament Adrian Gibson hitting out at government's evacuation offers ahead of Hurricane Melissa. Islands like Inagua, Auckland, and Crooked Island were placed under evacuation orders and flights were organized to get residents out. But Long Island wasn't included. Residents didn't shy away from expressing their grievances over the issue. We put the issue to Gibson, who was part of the DRM's assessment team on Thursday.
I had a conversation about it even on the flight here. And he indicated to me that at the time that they made the scheduling with the planes, Long Island was not going to get a direct hit. The storm kept shifting. I've said to him, even on the flight here, that going forward, if we had experienced another storm, that Long Island should be on the list of islands to be not evacuated, but where persons have the option of leaving via Bahamas, at least put 1 or 2 flights on so that they could explore that option. And I think that's something that he and the DRMA are considering, and I expect it to be done going forward.
As for what he saw on the ground during the assessment, the Member of Parliament shared this.
I'm happy to see that we don't have a bunch of down poles. I know we got some power lines in certain areas that are down. We have some complaints in the central and southern part of the island, which relates to water service. I know that they're working to get that up and running. Part of that is due to the fact that power is off in that area and there's no backup generator. There's relatively small damage, so I'm grateful to God that we have not experienced the brunt of what could have been a catastrophic storm.
And the Southern Islands weren't the only ones feeling Hurricane Melissa. Jamaica was also hit hard by the storm. The Hummingbird Association jumping into action to send relief to the island nation. The association represents the Jamaican diaspora in the Bahamas. Its vice president telling me today that it wasn't easy watching the devastation from miles away.
It was completely nerve-wracking, especially the fact that the storm took so long to do what it had to do.
Hummingbird Association Vice President Kevon Spence says it wasn't easy being miles away from family members as Hurricane Melissa battered Jamaica. The Hummingbird Association is a registered non-profit organization in the Bahamas representing the Jamaican diaspora in the Bahamas. The island nation is now left to pick up the pieces as the storm flooded communities, tore through infrastructure, and took lives. Making matters worse for him and others was the spotty communication during the storm and afterwards.
The sheer time that it took was just painstaking. On top of that, the communication would have been sparse from early because the thunderstorms that came in early would have caused power outages.
As for the extent of the damage, Spence says some areas are totally devastated while others are still reeling from water levels due to flooding.
A lot of communities have been cut off.
As for the way forward, Spence says the association is jumping into action to provide support for those impacted by the storm. He says all resources have been mobilized to provide a safe and secure way for anyone to donate.
We have, our online presence that will show our track record. We also have a bank account available that individuals can make direct deposits to. We are also assembling a food bank at this time.
Meanwhile, Deputy Prime Minister Chester Cooper says the Bahamas is preparing to help our Caribbean neighbor. Images coming out of Jamaica show a trail of devastation from that storm, destroying infrastructure and flooding communities.
Cooper telling reporters Wednesday afternoon that once the all clear is given, Bahamas Air is expected to play a key role in relief efforts.
We will be offering some assistance as well for Jamaica to be determined. No doubt Bahamas Air will be involved in that effort as well. So we're hoping once we get the all clear and the airports are open, we'll be able to assist those Bahamians as well who have been riding out Melissa there.
Well, it's time now for your first look at temperatures. Meteorologist Greg Thompson is standing by with a check on the weather. Greg?
Yeah, thanks, Bertha, and a happy Friday evening, everybody. Nice conditions on the outside. If you plan on doing anything on the outdoors, get out there. It's kind of cool. Temperatures will continue to drop off. 78 degrees is our current temperature with a few clouds. Your winds out with the north-northwest at 7 miles per hour. Feels like temperature is at 79. Satellite radar composite, that frontal boundary that moves through the capital and into the central Bahamas, now across the southeast Bahamas with some showers and some isolated thunderstorms, mainly near the Inagua, Acklands and Crooked Island and Meguan area. Turks and Caicos Islands, you had a few showers earlier, but most of those showers have weakened. High pressure continuing to dominate. That will continue to keep us with some rather nice conditions. We're looking for that to continue through the weekend as that front hangs out near the southeast Bahamas. That's a quick check on conditions around the islands. Stick with us. A look at your extended forecast is still to come.
Still to come in our news, a pilot accused of killing his romantic rival looks to challenge a judge's decision to refuse him bail. And the JCNP steps away from government-sponsored parades amid months-long back and forth between both sides. That's coming up when our news returns.
Tired of weak, over-the-counter bug sprays? Step up your pest control game with professional-grade products from the Struckham Shop. From powerful insecticides to trusted gel baits and termiticides, we supply the same products used by Struckham Commercial Pest Services, now available for DIY homeowners and small pest control pros. Whether you're protecting your home or building your business, get the edge with the Struckham Shop.
In the Bahamas, island time is real. The history of Morris Lumber Company, established in 1945, is etched into the fabric of this proud island nation. It's a story that deserves to be celebrated in full color, and that's where we come in. Morris the Paint Place has been bringing color and vitality to homes and businesses across the Bahamas. Here, color is more than just a hue, it's a symbol of life. Together, we can paint a brighter future.
A pilot accused of killing his romantic rival on Father's Day is seeking to challenge a judge's decision to refuse him bail a second time. 27-year-old Donald Ferguson is scheduled to challenge the ruling of Justice Dale Fitzpatrick to order his continued remand. He's accused of gunning down his estranged wife's lover, Giovanni Roll, on June 16, 2024 at Jet Nassau. Justice Dale Fitzpatrick ruled there was a risk of Ferguson absconding, committing further offenses, jeopardizing the public safety and his own, and interfering with witnesses if freed on bail. Ferguson intends to represent himself on appeal after dismissing his lawyer, Muriel DeSeal, KC. The appeal is set to be heard in January 2026. The Junkanoo Corporation of New Providence announcing it will officially move on from its management role of the Boxing Day and New Year's Day Junkanoo parades. They now plan on hosting their own cultural event. The news comes after the government took control of parade management this year, transferring it to the National Junkanoo Committee. In a statement, the JCNP said while the decision closes a significant chapter in the long-standing partnership between the JCNP and the government, we do so with gratitude for the years of collaboration and deep respect for cultural heritage. The JCNP will hold the Junkanoo experience, calling it a true celebration of the people for the people. The parade will feature the Saxon superstars, Roots, One Family, the 1958 Valley Boys, the original Congos, the Redland Soldiers, the Mighty Eagles, and 12 D-Division individual participants.
Coming up in sports, we talk the college hoops preseason. Nobody was more ready for VJ Star Climb than his teammates. Senior men's national baseball team tryouts this weekend. And like we say every week, a very special edition of Top Plays.
The future. Ready for the stormy season? Don't wait until the storm clouds gather. Contact the experts at Alive Business today and let us help you prepare for this hurricane season. For a limited time only, you can get 50% off our Bahamas Cloud, the ultimate solution to secure your data and communications, ensuring they're accessible even in the worst of weather conditions. Don't let the storm catch you off guard this season. Stay ahead of the game with Bahamas Cloud from Alive Business. Bulk up your business and communication with parents, students, and staff in seconds with Alive Business Bulk SMS messaging. This is the perfect tool to keep you connected and easily send important updates, event reminders, and emergency alerts. Keep your campus informed and connected with bulk SMS messaging from Alive Business. The right choice for fast, reliable communication. For more information, contact the experts.
Candino Nodes here, and thank you so much for watching. Be sure and hit that follow button if you want to see more stories like this. Be sure and follow all of the R News social media pages. And hey, don't forget, turn on your notifications so you never miss out on top stories from the team you already trust.
Things may be tough, but Wendy's got you covered. Grab a day single or chicken sandwich with a junior fries and 16-ounce beverage for just $6.95. Why choose less from the other guys when you can get more at Wendy's?
Welcome to Our Sports, presented by 10th year seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. That's John Martinutt. Let's do show. It's never too early to take a deep dive into the madness. We're locked into the college hoops preseason, so you will be too. We're so ready for next week. Donnie Freeman is back from injury and looks every bit as dominant as the Syracuse Orange expected. In their final exhibition game against Pace, Freeman scored 22 points and grabbed 9 boards. Syracuse opens the regular season Monday night against Binghamton. Dayton Albury made his second appearance for New Mexico last night and finished with 6 points and 4 rebounds against Northern Alabama. He also had 6 points and 4 rebounds in his debut. Albury was named to the preseason All-Mountain West Conference team for the upcoming season after transferring from Utah State.
BJ Edgecombe is becoming a star. The rest of the world is seeing it now, but his teammates on the senior men's national team always knew. Franco Miller Jr. and Edgecombe were teammates on the senior men's national team last summer at both the Acropolis tournament in Greece and the FIBA Olympic qualifying tournament in Valencia, Spain. Edgecombe emerged as one of the team's most dynamic scoring options, averaging over 16 points, 5 rebounds, and nearly 4 assists per game during the Olympic qualifier. Miller had his best moments at the Acropolis event, where he led the Bahamas with 20 points in a strong showing against Montenegro.
That's pretty impressive, for me, that's definitely something that's impressive, being that young and, obviously we played together, we played against each other, so I had like a gist of what his game is like and, what it is that he was capable of, but, seeing him go out on the floor and act like, he's been there for 3, 4, 5 years is definitely something that's really special, he can be pretty special in the league one day. I see him as an MVP in one season for sure.
The 7th Caribbean Baseball Cup is about a month away, and the Bahamas Baseball Association is taking the first step towards getting a team ready for the field. The BBA will host open trials for the senior men's national team Saturday, November 1st from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. at the Andre Rogers National Stadium. The country will host the 7th Caribbean Cup, set for December 1st through 8th. They look to improve on his last outing at the 2024 tournament, where the team finished 6th overall. It's the rare Halloween that lands on a Friday, which should supersede everything else. We love this almost as much as y'all love elections. Boy, y'all love elections. Let's get to top plays. At 5, as a collective, we're one game away from sending the CYC movement to wreak havoc on Steve Kerr's social media pages, because Buddy can still do this.
At number 4, it's not Thanksgiving yet, but this program is starting already. Philip Pilgrim with the hat trick for the UB to open the season.
At 3, Paul Green's going to fit right in at UMBC. They could pull off the 16v1 matchup again, right? I hope so.
At number 2, we will spend the rest of the time figuring out how he didn't go number 1. VJ had as many blocks this night as that top pick in Dallas had points.
And at number 1, it seems like an insane privilege for a country this size to have 2 national team players on the same NBA roster, but we do. The rookie to the vet, VJ dishes to EG for 3, still haunts Argentina to this day. That'll do it for our sports. This is 10YS. I know Halloween's great and everything, but after tonight, it's over. What's next?
It was a good run, but it's time.
You didn't even hit the right note.
No, don't want to get sued.
Definitely don't. Back to the studio.
Still ahead on our news tonight, the Integra Group sponsors a bone fishing tournament in Black Point, Exuma. We'll tell you all about it. And meteorologist Greg Thompson is back with a look at this weekend's forecast. The details when our news returns.
NFL season is back, and Cable Bahamas is bringing the action straight to you.
Okay, so let I take it from here. This season, Cable Bahamas is the Bahamas' #1 NFL provider. More games than ever before. With any live fiber infinite bundle, Trio or Trio Plus, you unlock Thursday Night Football, Sunday Ticket in 4K, and every highlight that matters. Just opt in the Sports X for $5 a month.
And don't miss a touchdown. Sign up now.
Watch Thursday Night Football exclusively with Rev and the Live Fiber on channel 747 and 748.
Are you ready for the stormy season? Don't wait until the storm clouds gather. Contact the experts at Alive Business today and let us help you prepare for this hurricane season. For a limited time only, you can get 50% off our Bahamas Cloud, the ultimate solution to secure your data and communications, ensuring they're accessible even in the worst of weather conditions. Don't let the storm catch you off guard this season. Stay ahead of the game with Bahamas Cloud from Alive Business. Bulk up your business and communication with parents, students, and staff in seconds with Alive Business Bulk SMS messaging. This is the perfect tool to keep you connected and easily send important updates, event reminders, and emergency alerts. Keep your campus informed and connected with bulk SMS messaging from Alive Business. The right choice for fast, reliable communication. For more information, contact the experts.
This is our news. Welcome back. Cold front now down across the southeast Bahamas with some cloudiness associated with that. Also some trailing moisture from what was Melissa well out there in the northern Atlantic. Post-tropical right now, but that's not going to cause a problem. But this front is going to hang around the southeast Bahamas. Some clouds and some showers still likely across that area. But the moisture will lift back towards the north eventually by the early part of next week. So we could see some showers across the northwest and central Bahamas during that time frame. Tropics quiet and we are winding down. We have about a month left for the Atlantic hurricane season, and just a bit of news. This could possibly be the last system we have, as things are remaining very hostile across the Atlantic for any formation. But a couple of tropical waves, not showing any organization at this time, and that is like how we like it. Future forecast showing quiet conditions across our area with that dry air mass and the high pressure building across the area. Once again, as I mentioned, some of that moisture will lift back towards the north, bringing some isolated showers across the central Bahamas by Saturday, and it will likely stay across there, eventually moving into the northwest Bahamas by Sunday. Boating forecast for all areas tonight to tomorrow. Caution flag in the Atlantic. Risk of rip currents still remain. Northeast to east wind at 10 to 15 knots. Seas 2 to 4 feet near shore, but building up to 6 feet in the Atlantic in some northeasterly swells. Low tide is at 10:25 tonight. The high tide takes place at 4:33 in the morning. Here's a look now at your national forecast. And just a reminder, before you go to sleep tomorrow night, Saturday into Sunday, 2 a.m. Sunday, make sure you turn your clocks back because daylight saving time ends at 2 o'clock. Change your batteries if you have some smoke alarms, and you do gain an hour of sleep. In your extended forecast, quiet conditions. Maybe an isolated shower on Sunday with that front backing up towards the area, but temperatures will be very nice. We're looking at some low to mid 80s during the daytime, and we're looking at low to mid 70s at night. That's a look at our weather. Have a safe night and a great weekend, everybody.
Thanks so much, Greg. This past summer, the Ministry of Tourism, Investments and Aviation announced the launch of the 2025 Bone Fishing Tournament Series that would showcase 4 islands, Grand Bahama, Andros, Eleuthera, and Exuma. The tournament began in July at the Grand Lucine Resort, and October saw the anglers complete in Bering Point, Andros, Palmetto Point, Eleuthera, and the championship takes place this weekend in Black Point, Exuma. This year, the Integra Group is a gold sponsor for the tournament. CEO Felipe McLean tells us that in addition to the beauty of the Keys, the people are the main reason for his involvement in Exuma.
The community for us is a very important aspect of all our vision here for our project. And we are working with all of these events, all the sponsorships that we do here in the community first. We've been the sponsors of the regattas. We know how important the regattas are for the culture here in the Bahamas. We've been supporting schools, we've been supporting clinics, and now we're supporting, new events that can bring tourists to the Exuma Keys and allow them to experience these beautiful waters and these beautiful people.
Tavares Pappy Black is the owner of Emerald Sunset View Restaurant and Bar and has operated at the site of the bone fishing tournament for the last 7 years. He tells us what this means to the community.
I'm pretty sure it's going to bring a lot of people back to the island, and I want to speak on the airport a bit too. So yeah, so with that, moving in, it's going to really bring more life to Black Point.
Well, thank you for joining us for our news tonight on behalf of the entire team. I'm Berthany McDermott. We'll see you right back here tomorrow night. Make it a great weekend, everyone.